Welcome to Psychic Insights, where pop culture meets higher consciousness and the tea is always a little bit mystical. I'm Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend, and around here we don't just watch the drama unfold, we read the energy behind it, whether it's celebrity scandals, reality TV, chaos, or true crime with a twist. I'm tuning in to bring you the intuitive scoop, the headlines miss. So buckle up, because your aura's about to get entertained. Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend, clearly avoiding my day job. Anyway, as you know, I love covering this Laura Owens case, and I've gotten some of your questions, and sometimes I guess spirit asks gives me some inspiration. So today I kind of want to go with this. All right. So as of this recording, no plea deal has been offered in the Laura Owens criminal case in Maricopa County, Arizona, where all the weird shit happens. Nothing has been decided, nothing has been announced, but what we're doing today is not predicting a verdict, and it certainly isn't legal advice. This is my Psychic Insights episode where I'm looking at patterns, pressure points, probable pathways, based on both real-world dynamics and energetic indicators. So if you're here for certainty about what's going to occur with this, that isn't this episode. But if you're here to understand what could happen, why it might happen, or why the public reaction may be complicated, you're exactly in the right place. So let's give a quick refresher about our girl Laura Owens. You know, if you're new here, welcome. I know some of you have reached out to me and said, I have no idea about this case, but I enjoy your insights. So welcome back if you're here for that. If not, try to go down that rabbit hole. You won't be disappointed. So let me give you a clear version. Laura Owens is at the center of a criminal case in Maricopa County stemming from allegations that include false statements, document manipulation, and abuse of the legal process. And she's called herself a public figure, but this case became public because it involved her accusations against a former bachelor, Clayton Eckert. And anyway, so we've seen court filings, we've seen protective orders, we've seen sworn statements, and multiple alleged instances of deception within the legal system. All right, this is a system integrity case, which is why it carries some weight here. So Laura Owens is currently facing multiple felony charges, 14, count them, 14, which include allegations of fraudulent schemes and artifices, perjury, more than one count, forgery, taking the identity of another, tampering with physical evidence, theft by extortion, which is accusation-based. Now, these charges range from Class 2 felonies to Class 6 felonies, with Class 2 being very serious under the Arizona law. And this matters because Class 2 felonies anchor plea negotiations, and they are not cosmetic charges. They carry real exposure. All right, so before we look forward, let's ground in what's already been said on this channel. Earlier, we forecasted two things: that the public would likely not feel satisfied with how this case ultimately resolves, and that if a plea occurs, it would not be early, it would come later, or at least she would maybe accept it later. So today we're not asking, will there be a plea, but we are asking what kind of plea pathways are possible, and what does the energy say about how they would land, which I think is fascinating. If anybody who is, I'm not a legal eagle. I think I thought for maybe 2 seconds about becoming an attorney, and quickly realized how much reading you had to do that was dry and boring, and I'm more of a creative. So I kind of, I don't know. I like spreadsheets. I'm a project manager. So, but anyway, The cards I pulled, and I went not with Lenormand today, but I did go with some of my other tarot cards that I kind of found. So let's, in my box of tricks. So what I found was, what I pulled was 10 of cards, which is reversed. I pulled the World. These are really pretty cards, aren't they? I really like them. I should probably start using them more often. The Ace of Wands. This is really... Oh, this was reversed. Isn't that cool? I mean, these are really, really very beautiful cards. Three of Wands. Three of Wands. I don't know. I'm going to get caught up in my Two of Pentacles reversed. And Two of Cups reversed. Okay. So I'm interpreting these symbolically through the lens of pressure, choice, and resolution, not fate, okay? So when we look at the 10 of Wands reversed, I'll show you again so we can talk about it while you look at it. And you know what? Tap into your own intuition about things too. And if you, if you want to jot down anything that comes to you, I would love to hear about it because you may connect to something that I'm missing, all right? But this is burden energy. This is burden fatigue, and it doesn't scream surrender. It keeps whispering, I can't keep carrying it the same way. And if we were to talk in legal terms, this often shows up as emotional exhaustion, narrative fatigue, a desire for the situation to stop expanding. And this is usually an internal shift that precedes plea conversations, even if nothing is said publicly. And we have talked about Laura's energy and how karma is pressing, pressure, the energy of continuing to continue in her narrative, even though the girl is tenacious, kind of like, damn, I mean, she is. All right. Then we've got the World. Whoop. I really should do a better job at making sure that my cards are ready. The World. And this is often misunderstood. Look how pretty that is. I love that. The World does not promise justice. It promises closure. So this tells me that this case does not spiral forever. This is an ending. This is a formal resolution. But closure and satisfaction are not the same thing. This aligns strongly with our earlier forecast that many people may feel unsettled or disappointed on how this ends. Believe me, when I tapped into the energy, I was like, come on. But whatever, can't do anything about it, just can read the energy. So then we have the Ace of Wands reversed. And this card is, there is no fresh narrative waiting in the wings. This is blocked momentum, and it suggests that there's no successful reinvention, there's no triumphant restart, there's no powerful comeback arc. And when we talk in legal terms or legal energy, this shows the system controlling the pace, not the individual. And we talked about this before in other episodes, so it's really interesting that this card shows up as that. So if you're following along, the Three of Wands, this is the Three of Wands. This explains why nothing has happened yet. The Three of Wands is waiting, watching, measuring outcomes. This is not avoidance, this is assessment. And if a plea ever comes, this card says it comes later, not early. So we were expecting a plea, I don't know, around now or, right around now. But I think with the additional 14 felony charges, I think there is some now rethinking, obviously, about that. Okay. And plus, there's so much that goes on in the background that we're not privy to. Maybe I'll do an episode on what is hidden from us and see what comes up. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Okay, so then we have the Two of Pentacles reversed. And this is where things kind of narrow. This card is about losing the ability to juggle. Too many versions, too many explanations, too many moving parts. I bet her attorney is just freaking exhausted already. In legal reality, this is when options compress and decisions become unavoidable. This is where the plea discussions become real. Okay. And then we have the Two of Cups reversed. And this is the most important card for public reaction. This card shows an agreement without harmony, without celebration. It's transactional, it's functional, and very unromantic. This is exactly the energy of a plea deal that satisfies the system but disappoints the observers. So I also ask, what kind of plea deal could emerge? I'm very fascinated with this system and this case. And, I hope never to be a part of the legal system unless it's, I don't know, maybe being on a jury would be kind of fun, I think. Oh, wait, I shouldn't say that because I'll end up with a jury summons. But anyway, let's see. Based on my research and energy, if a plea is ever offered, it would most likely look like a global plea, not piecemeal. A plea to at least one serious felony charge, dismissal of some counts in exchange for certainty, probation heavy with strict conditions, no dramatic courtroom reckoning for those of us who want to go and witness that, and no moment where everyone feels vindicated. This would be about containment, not storytelling, and that's often why the public will struggle with the plea deals and why they would want truth and catharsis while the system wants closure and efficiencies. So, why the public might not be happy. This is one of the energy readings I have, is because it ends the story quietly, not with the bang we deserve, right? It avoids trial theatrics. It limits what is publicly proven, and it feels unfinished emotionally, and even when it's legally significant. So I'll end with this. Sometimes justice doesn't feel like a gavel slam, like Law and Order. Sometimes it looks like paperwork, silence, and an ending that feels, well, for a lot of us, incomplete. And that's uncomfortable, but it's also how the system works. So I'd love to know your thoughts. Do plea deals serve justice, or do they serve efficiency? And what would accountability look like to you in this case? And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Remember to keep it respectful. You all have been, and I love that for us. And if you're new here, welcome to the Psychic Insight channel, because I love to connect with what's happening on an energetic level, not just what the headlines are talking about. And remember, a lot of times we can't predict the outcome because the energies are shifting, but we do look at the patterns. And if you like that sort of work, consider liking and subscribing and sharing with someone who may love to hear more about this and who are interested in learning what the cards say in relationship to some of this stuff. All right, and I will see you in the next one.